In this short video, we will explore the effect that successful employee induction can have on overall levels of staff engagement, and in turn, how this positive culture affects business performance. Through detailed research and interviews with industry leaders, we hope to highlight the steps that any business can take to encourage higher levels of staff engagement. So when you hear the phrase staff engagement, what words come to mind? We've asked a sample of hotel management students to see what they think.
Teamwork, staff engagement, happy, appraisals,
communication,
innovation.
But what does staff engagement look like? We decided to join Sabrina on her very first day at the Master Inn Hotel. Note how poor induction and low levels of staff engagement have had a negative impact on employees. Can you see what's wrong here?
Okay, finishing my work around 8, so first round on me.
Excuse me.
Just 1 second, I'll call you back.
I'm here to meet the HR manager.
Excuse me, the what manager?
To provide a different perspective, we interviewed two graduates of Shannon College of Hotel Management, Mr. Gerald Lawless, President and Group CAO at Jumeirah Hotels and Resorts, and Mr. Robert Flinter, General Manager, City of London Hotel at Apex Hotels. What processes do you have in place to create the perfect first impression for new staff members?
Like a guest arriving at our hotels, we've always felt that first impressions are vital. And it really sets the scene for all of our management and for all the colleagues, the employees of Jumeirah, that when they first come to work for Jumeirah, that they're treated as a VIP guest. In fact, when we first opened in Dubai back in 1997 with the startup of the Jumeirah Beach Hotel, we had all the senior management at the airport to meet the first wave of employees.
The first day we teach them a lot about the company, we make sure we go through the correct health and safety procedures, explain the job to them again, and give them a buddy for the first couple of weeks in their department so that they're not on their own.
We now rejoin Sabrina as she experiences how high levels of staff engagement can create a positive working environment for employees and contribute to the perfect first impression.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, how are you?
Good, thanks. Today I have an appointment with the HR manager.
Oh, you must be Sabrina, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, just have a seat over there, and I'll call her straight away and she'll be arriving shortly.
Okay, thanks very much.
You're very welcome.
Good afternoon, my name is Ella. I'm HR manager here. You must be Sabrina.
Nice to meet you, Anna.
Please come with me. I show you around.
Okay, thanks.
Which topics do you consider to be important when creating your staff induction program?
Well, I think that the most important part, I would say it anyway, but I do believe in it very strongly, is that all of the colleagues get to understand that the leadership of the company, it's just a bunch of guys, you know, and that we are pretty friendly and that we are real people. We want to give them this sense of belonging, also the sense that we really and truly care for them. So I think the orientation program where I bring the senior team of the Jumeirah group, now they're not always all there obviously because many are travelling, but I always try to be there for the orientation.
An opportunity to learn and to ask about our service values and our company's ethics and as I said earlier, core values. And after that, it's really important that they get a thorough departmental induction so they understand who they're working with, they understand their department, they understand their role and how it fits into it, and that they get enough support to exceed and excel in the role.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jennifer and I'm HR manager for employees. And we'll talk about values.
On our first day, Sabrina is brought together with other new employees to experience what it is the Master Inn Hotel is all about. Note how Anna, the Human Resources Manager, speaks in an enthusiastic tone and welcomes input whenever possible.
Thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions.
What steps do you take to encourage higher levels of staff engagement?
As part of the staff induction, the colleague induction program, where we have this introduction of all of the senior management team, I always talk to the colleagues about what really makes Jumeirah tick. What is the foundation of the Jumeirah culture? And the foundation of our culture, of course, has to be the hallmarks. And we have 3 simple hallmarks which we keep repeating, which we keep refreshing our employees with to get them to understand. The first hallmark is that we will always smile and greet the guest before the guest greets us. Our second hallmark, where we say that as a first response to a guest's request, we will never say no. It doesn't mean the final answer will not be negative, it might be negative. And our final hallmark is that we treat each other with respect and with integrity. And this again is fundamental to everything we do. We have now over 110 different nationalities, and then think of our hotels as well in different parts of the world. And even in the Jumeirah Carlton Tower in London, there are almost 60 different nationalities.
We're constantly evolving our engagement policies, so I believe in excessive communication with the staff.
Over time, Sabrina becomes more confident in her role and begins to develop a real desire for success. Her high levels of engagement encourage her to do better each and every time, selling the hotel as if it were her own.
Hi, good evening, how are you?
How are you today?
Not too bad, good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
How does your company measure levels of staff engagement?
Well, we have our colleague opinion surveys regularly held throughout the year, and they're done by an outside company on an anonymous basis. And in fact, as part of the incentive scheme for senior management, for general managers, for example, within hotels, part of the weighting of the incentive program is how they scored in the colleague opinion surveys. Colleague opinion surveys are very important.
We do an online survey with all of our staff twice a year, and it's benchmarked against the other hotels in the company and also against our previous performance. And we ask about 50 questions based on how they feel the job is going for them, that the company cares about them, and that they're getting the right amount of training.
About employee engagement, we have what we call round tables for breakfast or for lunch, where I or a senior member of the management and the corporate management team will sit with our colleagues and just get feedback from them. It's done on a nice structured basis.
As levels of empowerment and employee enjoyment increase at the Master Inn Hotel, it becomes clear the collective effect these are having on operating profit. The general manager briefs his team on how far they've come. We can see a change not only in revenue, but also in customer satisfaction through third-party websites and customer feedback. By acknowledging the milestone achieved, the Master Inn Hotel contributes furthermore to their employee engagement levels. For 2 leading hotel companies, we asked both Mr. Lawless and Mr. Flinter what their own opinion was of our key question. How do you think high staff engagement correlates to increased business performance?
I think it's fundamental. I think we see this, I always talk to our colleagues, we see that we score very well in TripAdvisor, we score very well in our JD Powers, we score very well in our Trent Walsh leading hotels of the world comparisons. We're always up there in usually the top 3 of all our competitor set. And why do we do that? What do our guests say? Oh, you must stay in the Burj Al Arab, or you must stay in the Jumeirah Carlton Tower, not because the building is fabulous, yes it is, but hey, it's because the people are fantastic.
The team are happy, the performance will increase, and it'll also make sure that you're competitive from a cost point of view. If your staff aren't happy, they'll leave and they'll go somewhere else. And it's very expensive to recruit and continue to get people in the door and to train them up to the levels that you need. So if you've got happy and engaged staff, it means you've got a settled team, you're developing people, they understand the company, they know your customers, and that you can constantly evolve and keep trying to improve.
Through a combination of expert opinions and personal experiences throughout our hospitality career so far, we have aimed to highlight a number of key aspects which influence levels of staff engagement. These include the importance of treating staff as your most valuable asset, detailed orientations and understanding of core values, the importance of employee relations with management at all levels, and valuing and acting upon employee feedback. We hope that this video has provided you with an insight into how high levels of staff engagement can truly correlate to increased business performance.